It's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and a couple of weeks ago I did a video on turning a quad vinyl record into a multi-channel DTS CD that can be played on basically any DVD or Blu-ray player. It was a very dry, technical, nerdy video with PowerPoint and some computer demonstration. Very interesting if you knew what I was talking about. If you didn't know what I was talking about, then your eyes probably just glossed over and didn't watch it like most people. So I am doing a actual just demonstration of a process of me converting a record so you can see exactly what I'm talking about without being bogged down by all of the nerdiness. I'm converting because I have not been able to find online this Sly and the Family Stone's greatest hits. So you can see it's in quad. A lot of these early Columbias had really cool inner sleeves, detailing the process. SQ is the most stereo compatible format. This record you should find anyway because this was the first time some of these tracks were ever in stereo. They were mono originally, and they were remixed for stereo for the quad album. So if you wanted the stereo version of some of these songs, you needed the quad album. If you just got the regular stereo, sometimes you would have mono copies of some of these songs. Because, again, they were remixed for quad and therefore into stereo. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean the record using the famous or infamous scrubbing bubbles technique, which plenty of people online tell me doesn't work, and I'm damaging all my records even though I've been doing it for years. And of course it does work, and they just immediately spat out their opinions without actual life trials and doing these things in life. So again, I'll be using the Groove Master label protector to clean the record in the sink. My tap water is actually well water. I've had it tested. There are not very many minerals in it. So let's clean the record and make a needle drop of this quad record, so that way we can decode it into a quad DTS CD. Alright, so onto the turntable it goes, and I'm going to use the digital recorder to capture the record. Alright, so here's the needle drop on the memory card. It's loaded in the computer, and let's start processing with it, huh? Alright, so I'm loading up Wave Breaker, a program where I can break up my wave file. And what I'm doing is just clipping the heads and tails of each side of the record. And I've done that here, so I'm deleting out all the junk. Now I'm running a normalized program so I can bring up the level of everything to the best level I can in proportion. So I'm not making things louder, I'm just bringing it up in proportion. And now I'm running my click repair program to remove any clicks and pops that are on the record on both sides. And through the magic of editing, we're going to cut here and we're all done. And now I'm going to delete out the old stuff, so now I just have the repaired file. So I'm ready to go. And I am now combining side 1 and side 2 into one big file, so that way I can just work on one file instead of side A and side B and have to double my work. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm copying the output into a file called front, and I'm going to also bring that to my work folder, my temp folder here, and I'm going to make an exact duplicate, and I'm going to call it rear. So that is what Adobe is expecting to run. So I'm going to load up Adobe Audition now. And once it is loaded, I'm going to put it into the edit screen. And once it's in the edit screen, I can now run my script. And the script is going to go through, take the front file and the rear file and do its magic. So it is going to start separating out all of the information. So through the magic of editing, boom, we're done. So now you see we've got a front and a rear. I'm going to put multi-track view here. So once I import the front and import the rear onto the other channel, I'm going to save the front and the rear now that I've done all my work on it. And you can kind of see where I'm mousing over that the front, the top, and the rear, the bottom, don't line up exactly. That's because there's different audio, which means that it worked. The quad stuff is done. So now I'm running a little script I called quad convert, and what it's doing is taking the front and the rear and making just one big file of front left, front right, rear left, rear right. And you can see under media info here, you can see it says quad, and it's got 4 channels and what the channels are. So the next thing I'm doing is loading up my wave breaker program again on the original combined file, and I'm finding all the ins and outs. That way, when I listen to the DTS CD, I don't just have one big file. I'll actually have all the different track breaks. And so I go export to TOC. The last file is kind of a junk, the last track, and I'll show you that in a second. So I export the TOC, and I load up a plain old text editor to edit the TOC. And that last track, you see it doesn't line up right, so I just delete that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a find and replace. I'm going to the out, and I'm going to name it what my final output file is. So it's called multi-channel output. Actually, I typed it wrong here. And then I'm converting my TOC file into a Q file, and a Q file can be read by my CD burning program. So the next thing to do is to convert the final output to a DTS wave file, which I've done, also a script that I made. And that Q file, you see now everything's nice and broken up. I make sure that there are no gaps, and I burn the CD. And ta-da! It's done! So the final product. Here it is. Sly and the Family Stone's Greatest Hits. DTS CD, and it's a needle drop. Yeah, I didn't say it was going to be easy. I mean, it's steppy. It's got little things to it, and you know. But that's what we go through. So we can have this. And now I can just play this from now on, and it'll have better quality than any piece of equipment that was ever around at the time. So I got that going for me also. So better separation and a way to enjoy it easily. So thanks so much for watching. From Dixieland Farm, take care.